Hey, community group leaders and teachers, I hope you're doing well and having a fabulous day. Hey, I'm excited to introduce this week's Leadership Minute. This is one more tool we can have in our toolbox to lead more effectively. Over the last several weeks, we've been looking at Paul's relationship with Timothy in 1 Timothy and 2 Timothy to look for some leadership lessons that we might be able to glean as leaders to learn how we can not only grow ourselves, but also how we can lead more effectively those around us. And so today I want to look at a challenge that Paul issues in 2 Timothy chapter 2. For those that are going to be at the leadership or vision night that we're having on Wednesday night, you'll probably get to hear just the beginning of this part, but not the fullness of it. So 2 Timothy chapter 2, after Paul says to Timothy, the things that you've heard me say in the presence of many witnesses, pass on to reliable men who will pass on to others also. Paul ultimately is talking about the gospel message and other things that come from running hard after Jesus that Timothy's learned from Paul, that Timothy's supposed to pass on to other people, who then learn how to pass on to other people. But then Paul expands on that idea in 2 Timothy chapter 2 with three images. He talks about a soldier, a farmer, and an athlete. He mentions those three different people. He mentions a soldier specifically, that the soldiers, they train themselves for the worst possible case scenario, hoping that the worst case scenario never comes, so that when that moment comes, they have an opportunity to be prepared, but also to lead effectively on the battlefield. Now what we may not know is that soldiers, actually leaders of soldiers, commanders of soldiers, they trained extra hard, not only in terms of preparing for battle or preparing for difficult circumstances, they also trained in character and integrity, so that the people that they were overseeing would follow them into the battlefield, knowing that who they were behind the scenes was the same person that who they were in the front lines. So they could trust that person. They could trust them in the worst and most difficult situations. Another image that Paul uses there is that of a farmer who sows seeds early. It takes a long time for anything to come to fruition, but they invest little by little by little, knowing that eventually they'll reap a reward. And then the last image that Paul uses there is that of an athlete who spends a ton of time preparing physically to compete in Olympic Games, knowing that all of their training will eventually come to fruition in when they get to compete to win a prize. All three cases require training and investment, a lot of investment, long before they ever see the fruits of that investment and the rewards of that investment. So for us as leaders, sometimes when we're investing in other people, when we're doing the business of taking that which we've been entrusted and giving it to other people, it takes time for us to see the benefits of what we're investing in them. Also, the same is true of those that we're investing in. It takes a long time for them to put into practice those pieces that we're giving them to grow as disciples before they ever get to see the fruits of that and reap the fruits of that. And so my challenge to you as a leader is, remember that it takes time to invest in people, but it's always worth it. And to challenge those that we're investing in, it takes time for them to grow and mature, but it's always worth it for them also. If you have any questions about this Leadership Minute or any other Leadership Minute, I want to encourage you, reach out to me, give me a text, an email, something like that. I'll be more than glad to expand on that or encourage you. But know that I'm so proud of you as a leader. I'm thankful for you as a leader. I'm praying that God's grace and peace would go before you, praying for your group. I look forward to seeing you, hopefully many of you, on Wednesday night at our Vision Night. If you're not able to make it, please let me know as well, and I will be sure to pass on vital information to you. But I pray that you have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you back here again next week for another round of Leadership Minute. Hey, blessings, friends.